Nearly 300 teenagers are working this summer in Sonoma County. ABC 7's Money Scope reporter David Louie explains how they got on the payroll and how the public will benefit.
Most of these young people weren't expecting to find summer jobs, but here they are, working outdoors and getting paid $8 an hour. Federal stimulus money at work. 16-year-old Eva Cabrera is part of a team clearing Santa Rosa Creek. The Youth Ecology Corps has created summer jobs when there aren't any, while teaching young people about the environment.
I go home and brag to my parents and to my friends that I'm actually outside working, having fun, and at the same time helping the community.
Sonoma County, California, a place of beautiful creeks and streams, a land of redwood forests and beaches, and home to numerous state and regional parks. Many environmental nonprofits and government agencies work to protect, maintain, and restore the county's natural resources. Unfortunately, the economic downturn impacts the amount of work these organizations can accomplish. The recession impacts people as well, as the county's unemployment rate reaches new heights. Unemployment for youth and young adults soars higher still. This age group has experienced the worst of the recession. Underfunded county agencies and youth organizations try to meet the needs of the unemployed, but budget realities are making it harder and harder. In the spring of 2009, a unique partnership, one to address these many challenges, led to the formation of the Sonoma County Summer Youth Ecology Corps. Youth and young adults are connected to summer employment opportunities, quality jobs that benefit our environment, our communities, the economy, and of course, young people.
This is our first time doing this and we really enjoy it.
These opportunities are more than just a summer job.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of good work, yeah.
The youth and young adults build work readiness skills, explore potential careers, learn about the environment, give back to the community, and spend their hard-earned dollars locally.
The Summer Youth Ecology Corps really started with the understanding that there are several competing needs that we needed to address as a water agency.
In our area, our significant fish species are either listed by EPA as threatened or endangered. One of the priorities for the county is to try to do restoration of habitat. So having 300 young people out there working, doing stream restoration, stream improvements, made, I think, a tremendous impact.
There are always good things to spend your money on, whether it's youth or health programs or working with families or environmental restoration, but specifically for what output we got for this program, I really believe that the money was very well spent.
With the signing of the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, better known as President Obama's economic stimulus package, the County Workforce Investment Board planned for a summer jobs program.
We're getting information about these economic stimulus dollars, so we got together to be able to leverage these connections and these different funding sources and programs all together into one magnificent little program.
The Workforce Investment Board and Human Services Department teamed up with the Water Agency, County Office of Education, New Ways to Work, and the District Attorney's Office. The Ecology Corps was building momentum. The Sonoma County Water Agency, a national leader in conservation and flood management, is at the forefront of environmental stewardship for the streams, creeks, and rivers of the county.
The Water Agency supplies water to 600,000 individuals, and we also have responsibility for flood control.
Educating young people about water issues and the environment is a crucial part of their core mission.
They're not only helping us remove flood control, they're also restoring habitat for future species survival.
The Workforce Investment Board is an advisory board to the Sonoma County Board of Supervisors, and we were involved because we did receive $1.2 million of the economic stimulus funds devoted for summer youth employment. The Workforce Investment Board and its Youth Council looked at all of the factors involved, and they came up with some priority groups to target. Kids that were already in our year-round Workforce Investment Act program, kids from CalWorks families, Welfare to Work families, Kids who've been involved with probation or especially with foster care. We had youth who were disabled or any way disadvantaged and had barriers to employment. And we selected 5 nonprofit agencies to be the employer of record and take care of these young people from day to day.
SCADE applied along with Petaluma People Services Center, the West County Community Services, the Center, and SAY Santa Rosa and Sonoma Valley. And we applied together because we had already worked for several years as a collaboration with the WIA Youth Program. And we thought that our combined strength would make the program be as successful as possible. The youth agencies were responsible for enrolling the youth, doing orientation, safety, payroll, the day-to-day supervision. We hired crew leaders.
By far, the nonprofits and the community-based organizations that were part of the Summer Youth Ecology Corps were what made it so dynamic.
We were one of many partners in Sonoma County that made this possible to a large number of youth who otherwise would not have had this employment opportunity during the summer.
I got laid off at Roundtable, and it's been a while since. I'm just happy to be working, you know what I mean?
New Ways to Work was able to coordinate and manage this entire effort on behalf of the entire coalition of interests.
Our goal is to work in communities to bring together those services and supports that are provided to young people into a comprehensive, connected system. Our job was to sort of just put people at the table and help them identify common needs and a common ground. So instead of simply having a couple of crews working with the water agency, we were able to deploy something like 27 crews around the county doing a range of different kinds of projects.
We certainly have a high priority of working in a collaborative fashion, especially in this economic climate. We're expected to do more with less.
With dollars in place, the partners quickly reached out to potential project hosts.
Land trusts, parks departments, open space districts, nonprofits having to do with environmental stewardship of the lands. We invited them to identify those kinds of projects that really would be of significance to the community and where the young people would be able to learn a lot about the environment.
All of these partners brought together the pieces of a project far grander than anyone imagined. From across the county, hundreds of youth applied for crew positions. Youth and crew leaders were hired and celebrated the start of the program with the partners, agencies, hosts, and civic leaders.
Wow, 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 wow. Good afternoon. This is something special, guys, and I recognize...
And in late June, crews began working on projects. The youth and young adults worked for 6 weeks, earning paychecks to help stimulate the sluggish local economy.
I would think the most interesting for me was watching the growth of the crews. What you start off with 6 to 8 people who didn't know each other. Many of them were cohesive teams who were hanging out all summer together, and they really became friends, and that was a nice thing to see.
A lot of people come by and say thank you for helping to clean up our creeks.
I've talked to a lot of people that say, I walk the trails and I know what the trails looked like before they were cleared and after they were cleared, and it's a huge difference.
For most of our youth, this was their very first job, first paycheck, first time on a work site.
It's been actually quite fun. It's also interesting to see them take so much pride in the before and after, even counting up how many feet of trail they've done so far, and when you come look at it afterwards, each day you realize, wow, look what we did.
What we're doing here is gardening for the homeless shelter. We feed about 140 people a day. And when we came here, it was really trash because they don't got employees. So we came over here and we did some gardening, pulled some weeds, pulled some of the vegetables, took it over there, and people were really nice. We're trying to make a change in the community.
In addition to ecology work, the Community Corps placed young people in individual internships throughout the county.
And it gave them the opportunity to test out those skills, find out if it was really what they were interested in doing. They worked in clerical more type positions, the Petaluma Police Department. They worked with animals, and they also worked in either nonprofit or public agencies.
Environmental education was a big part of the experience. Crew members learned about the environment, cycles of the ecosystem, watersheds, food production, and more. All throughout the summer, work readiness training supplemented the hands-on work experience.
As much as we emphasize adhering to academic standards, there's more to it than performing well on, let's say, the STAR test. The work setting allowed them to see real-world application of academic skills.
Each crew member completed a work-based learning plan. The plan included an assessment of the skills necessary to begin work.
We were quite interested in bridging both the work-ready certificate and the career planning option that helps them track, plan, and look at how they may develop their career path.
Project hosts, including the water agency, provided tours of their facilities and worked alongside the crew members, helping them learn about the environment and explore career opportunities.
Ever since I've been working for this program, I've been thinking about becoming a park ranger.
This job was the first I ever had.
It was cool giving back.
It taught me to work well with my crew leader and other crew members.
Not only we learned about ecology, but we learned about a good work ethic. I learned that working together makes the work easier.
Every dime earned went straight to the bank to save for my first car purchase.
This additional income also helped the youth and young adults to support their families.
My dad is kind of jealous, I think. He's kind of out of work right now.
When I first started, I had a bit of an attitude and thought to myself, there is no way I'm working with these losers. But then I learned their stories. Some of these people have gone through homelessness, physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. Some have been in foster care their whole life. Some have been arrested and convicted. Some have mental disabilities, but they came to this program to better themselves and their situations, as did I.
There are many types of crime prevention for youth offenders to ensure that they go in the right direction. And certainly I view this program as one of those type of crime prevention programs, and the numbers reflect that. The average population for the juvenile hall in the summer of 2007 was 97. In the summer of 2009, the average juvenile hall population was 75.
The board was very proud as a board to have supported the Summer Youth Ecology Corps and to have been a part of it. To us, it meant that the investment we were making in their youth was really going to pay dividends in the future. We're dealing with an immense amount of cost in juvenile justice costs and in detention costs, and we think that these types of investments really make a significant difference long term.
You know, you meet new people, you just have a lot of fun, you know. Something to do, not just stand around the house, you know, play video games, watch TV, you know, something out there to do.
The 2009 Summer Youth Ecology Corps was a success.
It's a model for others to follow. It's something that will actually provide life skills and instill a sense of hope for the future. And I think that our future is dependent upon programs like this succeeding.
When we had over 300 youth who have seen challenges, we were allowed to provide them an opportunity.
So the whole summer, he was a great worker, one of the assistant crew leaders. And at the end of the summer, he asked me, Mark, how do I get a job? So I go on and on about, here's how you become a maintenance worker, here's how you do this, here's what you need to do. And he goes, stops me mid-sentence and goes, Mark, I want to do what you do, how to become an environmental specialist. He said, I like trees now. And that's one of the stories it almost makes me cry just thinking about that, just because, you know, he wants to be a scientist now, so that's incredible.
These type of programs make a difference. These kids will remember this work for the rest of their lives and what it meant to them. And it's a drop in the bucket in terms of dollars, and it's worth every penny.
I want to thank this program for helping me improve my life. I love this pickaxe, yay!
What will happen after the Jutra plant gets built? Where will all the birds go?
Other people care too. That's awesome.
We just finished fill. Frank, Megan, and Morgan are already brewing.
You mean the sun runs all this? We went down to Santa Rosa and we covered up graffiti.
I'm kind of glad that I have a job like this.
It helps the community to have a nice, clean place to relax.
During this past week, I feel that I've grown a little and got back to appreciating nature and enjoying myself outdoors.
We learned everything from invasive and non-invasive plants to how to act during an interview.
When I learned of all the possible green jobs today, I realized this is a field to find a career in to make a difference.
I'm not just doing unproductive things that make me unhealthy or depressed, which is the best part of this experience for me.
It's not the same thing every day.
It's not boring.
Shh, you're disrupting the wildlife.
What do you mean? We are the wildlife.